Welcome to Give Me Hope with your host and author, Johanna Vendel. Come join the conversation as Johanna focuses on sharing impactful personal narratives of loss. Her platform provides a safe space for individuals to express themselves, find comfort, and build connections as they navigate their grief journey. So now, please welcome the host of Give Me Hope, Johanna Vendel.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to Give Me Hope with Johanna. Well, I have been interviewing a few of the authors that has been with me at Hollywood and that has walked the red carpet with me. I met so many people there, and I'm so honored to say that I have walked the red carpet of the very first Author of the Year Oscars in Hollywood. So there's going to be many more. It's only started. Today, I have an amazing lady in studio with me who's also an author. She has written 8 books already, but she will tell us a little bit more about that. Let's introduce Edie. Hello, Edie. Welcome to Give Me Hope with Johanna.
Hello, Joanna. Thank you so much for inviting me.
You are very welcome. I believe this is your very first podcast ever.
It is, and I'm so grateful it's you. Thank you so much.
Oh, you are very welcome. There's always a first for everything. The first for Hollywood now, and I met you, and it was just such a honor to meet everyone that has worked so hard to get their books into the finalist position. Just to be able to attend the awards is already amazing because you are already a winner as you have won your awards previously for your books, and now you were on the red carpet.
Oh,
Well, do you want to maybe just tell the viewers a little bit more about yourself? Tell us, who is Eddie?
well, right now I'm a retired lady. I was in the hotel industry for 20 years. I got
Oh,
to meet quite a lot of people from a lot of different places, and I think that's how I end up developing my characters, because I just take a little of this culture, a little of that culture, and I invent something.
oh, that is
Um,
actually so
I'm
good.
happily married and I have a wonderful daughter, son-in-law, and 2 beautiful grandchildren.
Wow. Wow, I would never say that you are a retired lady already. You still look so good and so young. I would never say that you are retired. Wow. So, do you want to start by telling us how did it come for you to start to write? I think working in the hotel, like you said, that is a good idea to look at people and build characters from their stories, what you see and how they act. I think that is so good. So please start to tell us, how did it come for you to become an author?
I think when I was in the hotel industry, I went a lot of different places to talk about the hotel and what was available and what we could do here for them if they came here, things like that. So I met some very interesting people, saw some very interesting places, and thought to myself, this would make a good book. So I had these ideas rolling around in my head all the time, but I never had time to write them. I was working. And then COVID happened and the hotels couldn't take people anymore. We had to stop, and there was no need for the salespeople like me. So I was all of a sudden unemployed. But it was supposed to be temporary. So I thought, ooh, what a great chance for me to read all the books in my to be read pile. And I did. And then we stopped being able to go to the library and browse because they closed that. And
Mm.
a friend of mine on a Zoom meeting said, why don't you just write a book, Edie? You have all those stories you've been telling us about. And I went, oh, good idea.
Yes,
And
it
I
gives you
started
something to
writing.
do.
And I published my first book in December of 2020.
And the name of that book?
The Intergalactical Adventures of Kevin Higgins and the Mystical Chawe. That is an intergalactical coming of age mystical book. It has a lot of very twisty, turny pieces in the plot, and we basically follow the story through the young man Kevin Higgins and all of the mystical and intergalactical things that he encounters as he grows up. And it's scary, it's adventurous, it's interplanetary. I almost feel like I put too many things in that book to be astonished by.
Wow, wow.
And
So
it just won an award from Impact, International Impact Book Awards. It just won. So I'm very pleased I have that one too.
I was wondering, was that the book that won the award? Have you won any awards with the other books yet? Or was that the
Yes,
first entry that you did?
actually, that was the second entry that I put in for International Impact. The other book, the one I met you with, is The Knot in Time Travel. It's the first in a trilogy, and it takes place in the Old West.
I
It
love time
won,
traveling
I
movies.
do too. In 2023, it won finalist for American Fiction Awards. And
Wow,
then in 2024, International Impact Book Awards gave me a winner in my category. And
wow,
it got
congratulations.
submitted for the author of the year in 2025, where I met you.
Wow.
And so that's that book. So that book has actually had rather a lot of awards. And I think that's because a lot of us are really interested in time travel.
Yes, I think it is just so nice to look at the time travel movies for me and just live in a different era or try to fix things in the past or go look at your future or something. I just love time travel stories overall. Um, is most of your books about time travel or do you write about something else?
I actually wrote in several different genres, but the the one I told you about, the Not in Time Travel, it's the first of a trilogy. So
Okay.
there are the three books there that are also time travel. And then I
Wow.
did write one other, A Princess in Time, and that is a standalone time travel book.
Ooh.
Back in castles and time travel, only she's a math whiz and she's figured it out. I've written other books that are more spiritual. And when I was researching to do the time travel in the Old West, I found that I have rather an interest of the Old West. And I've started a series of books for the Old West. One, Old West Poker Hand, is the first one. It just came out in September in audio. I've never done audio before,
Oh,
so that was rather exciting. So the second book is being worked on for audio, and I'm still writing the third one. So,
amazing. Well, you have
yeah,
all the time now to write. It's not that you have to go to work and you can only do it when you're done working, you know.
yes. I tend to write at night after my husband's gone to bed and the world is
Oh,
quiet. It's a
wow.
very different world at night. My characters will come and stand right next to me and tell me what they want me to write them doing. It's as if they're actual people standing next to me. They're that vivid They're so
Wow.
real that I have to write it, and they won't let me go to bed until I write what they want.
You see, that is exactly how it is when you write that piece that you're thinking of. You have to finish writing it. Me too.
Yes.
I can't go to bed if I don't finish what my thoughts have told me to finish, except if I fall asleep with everything in my hand by the end of the day. But sure, wow. No, I think it's very interesting to have such amazing characters in your stories, you know. So, your princess story, is that your second book?
It would be my fourth
Your
because I wrote
fourth?
the Time Travel Trilogy in the Old West first. So I
Okay.
wrote the Chawe book first in 2020.
Good.
Second book in that trilogy is a handle on time travel. And the third book in that trilogy is the elevator of time travel.
Oh, wow.
And then I wrote A Princess in Time.
Wow. Wow. I think I'm going to have to read them, you know, because I like to sometimes be in a different world. It's not always nice to think about your life, you know, and that's why I'm enjoying so much to speak to people and hear their stories because it makes it easier for me to not think about my life story.
To be stuck there. I
Yes.
think when we were in, if I hope this is okay, when we were in Hollywood, I met so many people who told me about their books that now my to be read pile is taller than I am.
Yeah.
I met such wonderful authors like yourself. I just can't believe the creativity that was in that room. It was so fun to be there.
It was amazing experience. I will also show the people a photo of you and me that morning when we were at the conference before the
Yes.
evening. I'll show them quickly. So, did you enjoy that conference the morning?
I did. I thought there was an awful lot of fascinating information. I
Oh,
was a little um, disappointed in some of the people there when the keynote speakers came on stage and started talking. And there were people that the back of the room that seemed to have thought it was over, and they were all talking back there. And then somebody in front of me turned and shushed them, and I was so glad because I wanted to hear what the keynote speaker was saying. I think they
yes.
thought it was over.
Oh, some people are just so unconsiderate.
I don't think they really were paying attention to the schedule,
I
really.
also don't think so. I think they were so excited that they just want to talk to people by the end of the day.
Yes.
Oh, but I felt so amazing in that room, and inspired, you know, about all the stories that came out and how, especially how Nim has grown her business with the International Impact Book Award to now make this an annual author Oscars for
Oscars.
authors. You know, I'm looking forward to writing in more books, because you never know. Maybe in another few years or another few times, I'll also win my category. You
Yes.
know, so it's about
Yes.
never giving up, always showing up.
And Nim will tell you showing up is important.
Yes, I like to read her notes sometimes, you know, it always inspires people. And I always think to myself, I I like to inspire people like that as well, you know, and not many of the people or the authors there really know my actual in-depth story, you know, and it is amazing to be in a room like that where you are noticed for your work that you put in. And then it's just about getting those people to also read your story, get to know you a little better, because it's not all of us that have money to go and do everything that some of the authors are able to do, like making documentaries of their books and
Yes.
all of those nice things, but it surely is motivating for me to say, I'm going to continue writing what I'm writing. Do you want to tell us more about your fifth book, the three books that you said that you also started?
I think you're asking me about the first book in the Old West Time Travel Trilogy. And
Yes.
that one is The Not in Time Travel. And it's basically about a young man in the Old West who you fall in love with almost instantly because he's perpetually lazy. And for some reason, he just tries. He can do chores. He's strong enough. He just tries to avoid them. And he's pretty successful at that. And then as he gets older, his life just changes enough that he kind of wishes he could still go back to doing what he was doing. And he accidentally finds a way to time travel and then tries to make life better on both sides
Wow.
and moves things from one side to the other. And the
Wow.
secret is that when you get to the second book in the trilogy, you're meeting his son. And when you get to the third book in the trilogy, you're meeting his grandson. And because it is the Old West, and horses help build the Old West.
Mm.
He has a horse in the first book, and the horse's child is in the second book, and the
Oh, sweet.
grandchild is in the third.
Oh,
So it
sweet.
just follows along in time and also travels back and forth.
Okay. And just so that I know, how does he travel back? Did he build
Oh, that's the
something?
mystery. I can't give you that.
Oh, you mean I'll have to read the book?
Yes, you can't give away all the secrets.
Uh, well, it's already so exciting that you're making me want to read it, and
I
find
hope
out
so.
more. Oh, funny.
But it's like being in that room in Hollywood. I'm sorry. There was so much creative energy in that room. It just was wonderful to be with that many people that understand what it's like to write and the challenges that you overcome to get there. That was
Yes,
awesome.
it
That
was
was awesome.
awesome. It was. So when did you win your first award? Um,
My
did you
first
go to?
award was the American Fiction Awards for the Not in Time Travel in 2023. And I
Oh,
had written 5 books by then. And
okay.
that was the first one to win an award, the Knot.
Wow. And when did you go to Phoenix to win your second award then?
Actually wasn't able to attend the one in Phoenix, but they did send me the trophy and the
Okay.
certificate and everything. And that was in 2024.
Oh,
I think
wow.
I
Wow,
think it
that's
was in summer. I don't remember exactly.
okay. Oh, my word, that is so impressive. Wow. So your princess book, let's go back to that one because
Okay.
I I definitely am a fiction person, so I do have all these things like princess movies, and diary movies and all of those things, it always puts you on a different level. Tell us a little about that book.
The princess is born with the ability to time travel, and she thinks everyone can do it. And so she just does it. Even as a newborn baby, she just travels in time. And people get very concerned when they can't find the baby.
Oh,
And it doesn't really occur to her until she's a little bit older. that she can actually, with math, assist other people to time travel with her,
Oh,
and then later still discover the effects of changes with time travel.
wow.
So she is quite the interesting little character, and she doesn't really know that what she's doing is having such an impact until much later in the book.
Wow, that also sounds interesting. So most of your books are about time travel overall.
Four of my books are about time travel, yes. One is coming of age, one is spiritual, and two more are just adventures in the Old West.
Tell me about your spiritual book.
My spiritual book is called Jane Doe's Alibi. And it's a very strange thing. That one does not sell well online, but every time I go to a book festival or anything where I'm selling my books, it's the first one I sell out of.
Wow.
Kind of a different thing, but it's basically about the fact that when you meet someone, you don't know the spiritual impact that they may have on you. There are
Yeah.
some things that you learn from people and you don't realize it until much later, or something that they taught you, you begin to use and it teaches you more. And I think it's fascinating that we don't always recognize the spirit and adventure in
Mm.
another being when we meet them. So I
Yes.
wrote about that.
Wow. I like that because that's so true. You never know. Um, and maybe that is why you were so fascinated with all the people in that room, because you never know what kind of person you meet and what their
Yes,
story is.
yes,
Everyone has a story. It is just about starting to tell your story. And
yes.
then when you tell your story and you get it out there, that is then when you realize that your story is a good story. Everyone has stories.
And you don't necessarily know when you put your story out there who you may help from having done so. And that's sort of what Jane Doe is about. It's a mystery. It's a little confusing and very spiritual,
Mm.
but it is about how we sometimes accidentally help people or are helped accidentally by someone. It's sort of told from a homeless person's experience,
Oh,
sort
wow.
of.
Wow.
It's a mystery.
Yes. And also, it's about not judging a book by its cover because the
Yes,
person inside, the soul, the actual person, can bring so much, and even if it is a homeless person,
yes,
they have their stories, the reason that brought them to become homeless, and if you listen to those people's stories sometimes, it's unbelievable how it helps you also in your future just by hearing a story like that. And also when we all realize that we need to have God in our lives, that spiritual
spirit.
connection with Him, and just to offer people a ear to listen to them sometimes, because that's all we need sometimes, is
Yeah.
to have people that listen. My story, for instance, I feel that I have chased a lot of my friends away with all my grief that I had in my life, losing my entire family. And I write about how they all died. My mom, dad, my three sisters, and my brother. And that all happened before I was 46 years of age. And to have your friends and have all that grief and loss by the end of the day, I don't know that there are so many people who want to hear your stories because they are not at that level in their life, so
Yeah.
they don't understand that person needs to talk to someone about it. And then if it wasn't for God in my life, I don't know where I would have been here today. I don't think I would be here today.
I'm
Um,
quite thankful that you are.
I'm also thankful that I am here because I was very, very close to doing something to myself, but I got out of my sadness. It just takes time to heal your heart a little and to move on. But my writing has helped me so much to overcome that. So now I am over and done writing nonfiction about myself and my stories. Now I want to write fiction about all my stories.
Can I just say, I'm so proud of you. That is an awful lot to overcome. It really is. And still, you did it. You're still here. And you've had many challenges and you've made it. I'm so proud of you for doing that. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Well, thank you so much. I mean, I don't hear that very often.
You too. It's
It is
important.
it is important and it's very hard when you have to walk around with all that sadness by yourself.
That's rather a lot of baggage. It
It
really
is.
is.
It's a lot, and to keep on putting your smile on every day and trying
Yes.
to be positive every day, it takes a lot of courage. And sometimes, you walk past someone, you don't know what they're going through, and you bump into them by accident, and you may be not having a good day, but you never know what that person's going through
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because we
well.
all have those.
Mm. We all
We
have those those days. Yes. Well, anything that you can maybe tell any person out there who would maybe like to start to become a writer and a fictional writer like you, to have all your imaginary ideas. Is there anything you can tell them?
I would tell them first, read, 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 because you learn when you read about different styles of writing and different ways of descriptions. And I
Mm,
would tell them, write down your thoughts, because even just a little piece of scrap paper with 3 or 4 words on it from your idea can re-spark the idea you had to write in the first place. Keep that piece of paper handy. I had one little piece of paper stuck on my desk at home for years before I was able to write about it. And it was called just a couple of words. It said Elevator Man. And that was the impetus for my Old West Time Travel Trilogy. And I kept it forever. And it got old and crinkly, just as I did, but it finally got to be words that I wrote the whole book about. I think if you read a lot and then you write your ideas down, you have a really good chance of finding the right words to make your story come to life. And
wow.
that's the advice I would give.
Oh, that's very, very nice. Um, it is a very good idea to write down everything that sometimes sparks you to look at something, and to listen to something. And you never know, little words or things that people do. I'm a people watcher sometimes.
Yes.
Um, uh, go sit in a park or when we camp, I like to just sit and watch people. And it is just amazing to kind of look at other people and see how people are. It definitely, I think many writers maybe do that, because that's the kind of things that spark that one word or that one thought that you are saying now about, like elevator, you
What
can
is it?
just think
What
about
is it?
it. You get into an
Yes.
elevator, where do you get out? Uh-huh. In a different world
Or in a different year.
or in a different year. Tell me where that elevator is. I want to go to a different year as well sometime. Oh my word. Uh,
It's crazy, right? We get in this tiny little room and doors close, and then they open and we enter into a whole nother place, right?
phew.
A different floor usually. But
Yes.
what if when you close the doors and then you open the doors, a different year happened? Maybe you
Yes.
were still in a hotel or a large building which still had elevators, but it was older or newer. It could be anything.
So, do you always just use fictional words or characters, or is there something true of you in that stories that you write as well?
A closet adventurer. I'm not physically the kind of person who would, oh, travel across the seas or something because I'm not a Columbus kind of a person, but my imagination goes there. So I like putting myself in some of the adventure characters, even though I'm not the one traveling. I put my thoughts and ideas about the situations that they encounter and see if I can't maybe make that work into a whole different adventure or take it on a whole nother turn. If I was to say that I was actually in one of my books, I think I might possibly I was the princess in time travel, but probably I'm Jane Doe.
Okay.
I think I'm Jane Doe from Jane Doe's Alibi.
Wow.
Yeah,
I always
I think so.
see you on Facebook a lot. You do quite a lot of book uh,
Promoting.
promoting and things like that. You're always going somewhere to do book signing and all of that. That's very, very nice of you to get out there, make that time to do that.
Well, I told you I was in the hotel industry for a long time. And during that time, I would talk to almost 100 people a day.
Wow.
I was busy talking, meeting, doing, always doing something with other people. To be retired and have only your characters to talk to, well, that's a little different. So when there's an opportunity like Hollywood or just 2 weekends ago, I think it was, I went to the Las Cruces Writers had a Southern New Mexico book festival. And I went to that, and I think there was something like 700 attendees. And I felt like I got to talk to so many people who were interested in books, who are interested in writing, who are interested in the art that surrounds a book cover. It
Yes.
was just fascinating, and it's such a creative growth, wonderful experience that to the chance to do those things, I'll sign up. I'll sign up.
Wow. So you just sparked something in me, the art of your books. Do you
Yes.
design it yourself or do you have someone helping you with that?
Both, I think. I have rather an idea of what I want on the book cover because I want it to be at least slightly descriptive of what of the story.
Mm,
And then I talk to people who take photographs and then use Photoshop in my computer
hmm
and to add the words that the text that is going to describe the book with you, so you could pick up the back of the book and read a little about it and
Yes.
put the title on it and my name and things like that. So the final version is something I have put together. And the original idea is something I had in my head, but the photographers or painters or artists that I may encounter in the middle could change it just enough to be perfect for the book. So
Yes.
yes, I love artists. They're my favorite kind of people.
Because I have seen one or two of your books, the covers, because I follow you on Facebook,
Thank
and
you.
I thought to myself that it is photographers or painters or someone that has been involved with those making of those covers because they are quite unique.
They are.
Yes.
And they're the interesting piece for me is there is an artist who does pour over painting,
Mm.
and I love her stuff. And I used her I asked permission and used one of her paintings as the back of my very first book, the Chawe book. The second book, the first in the trilogy, The Knot in Old West, that book was actually designed by my granddaughter. She was going to college for graphic design.
Oh.
And so I told her what I had in my head, and she was able to put it together. And I love that.
Oh.
And I have a friend who's a photographer in Artesia, New Mexico. She's the one that took the photographs in the places that I showed her and was able to use Photoshop to create the cover for A Princess in Time. So I like helping artists grow their art in that way.
That's
And they help me. I love that.
wow. Very nice. Very nice. So, where can the people purchase your books?
All of my books are available on Amazon.com. You can get the e-version, the paperback version, or the hardcover version. You can also get the Audible version of my Old West book. And you will be able to get the second Old West book, hopefully the end of this month.
Wow,
So
that is nice. I will have all your descriptions below in the description of this video, and the links will then just be available to be tapped on, and people will be able to purchase your books.
thank you so much.
You're very
I love
welcome.
you.
Oh, you're very welcome. I think a lot of people are going to click on those links. I'm going to click on it, especially
Thank
the
you.
princess one.
I
Oh,
am really, really glad to have done this with you. Thank you so much, Johanna.
you are very welcome. I am very grateful that you took the time to come tell us about your story. And I pray that you do very well in your books and all your creations. I think you're still going to get far in life with that.
I hope so. Thank you.
Well, thank you. You are very welcome. Such an amazing story. There are so many people with amazing stories out there. And if you have an amazing story and you would like to come share it with me, please reach out to me at givemehopewithjoanna@gmail.com, and I can get you onto my podcast for you to tell people about your story. Well, every week I have such amazing people that I speak to, and I am looking forward to speaking to my next guest again next week. So I will be back. Thank you for watching Give Me Hope with Joanna. Please like and share this and subscribe. Have a good day. Till next time. Goodbye.
This has been Give Me Hope with your host, Johanna Vendel. Join Johanna each week and harness the transformative power of storytelling to facilitate healing and growth. Wednesdays, 11 a.m. Eastern on the